Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the first live broadcast on my channel, Super Hive. Like I said, this is my first one, so bear with me. I am pretty nervous. Um, I have been joining several other live streams. If you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen me on some other ones, but this is my first personal one, so bear with me as I, um, just navigate through this. All right, so for this first live stream, I want to just go over some of the highlights from yesterday. Deck the Hall of Justice was a pretty big event for the DCEU, Zack Snyder's Justice League fandom. And I was very happy and thankful to be a part of that. I was on the World's Finest panel. And so I was very grateful to be a part of that. I just want to go over some of the cool stuff that, there was a ton of cool stuff that happened, but, go over some of the highlights. Zack was on a ton of panels, even more than I expected. So I just want to go over some cool stuff that happened yesterday during Deck the Hall of Justice. And shout out to Nicotina for doing a great job organizing it. There was also international panels happening simultaneously. So it was a big event. But real quick, before we get into the highlights for Deck the Hall of Justice, I just want to remind you guys that I have dropped some merch. This is my Zack Snyder quote. That is a fucking hard fact. You can find my other merch here on Teespring. The link to that is in my Twitter profile. So you can find the rest of my merch there. All right. Let's just go through some stuff on Twitter. I saw something right here. This is what I want to look at really quick. Gal Gadot wants a Wonder Woman crossover with Black Adam. That would be pretty interesting. It was also said that Dwayne Johnson wants one with Superman, so hopefully that happens. All right, so let's get into Deck the Hall of Justice highlights. All right, as I mentioned, there was a lot going on yesterday for Deck the Hall of Justice. And probably one of the first major highlights was that Ray Fisher was on Poindexter Lounge. And again, all of this yesterday was to raise money and awareness for the AFSP, the Autumn Snyder AFSP fund. There was a goal to reach $30,000 for the Autumn Snyder fund, and then a goal of $500,000 overall for what the fandom has contributed towards AFSP. So amazingly, well, I guess I'm not surprised because this fandom is awesome, but the goals, both of those goals were surpassed. I know the 500,000 mark was met. I don't know if it was how much it was surpassed by, but I know the $30,000 goal was surpassed. So that's awesome. Everyone in this fandom is it's just so cool to see how this fandom has grown beyond just wanting to get the movie and has shown a lot of support for that. So it's, yeah, just so great to see that. And people really have raised a lot of awareness for that since this whole thing has started and shown so much support for Zack and his family. So again, even if you can't donate, you can, share the link. So anyway, let's go back to Ray Fisher. He was on Poindexter Lounge, and as always, it is great to listen to him speak about just a lot. I mean, his character is Cyborg, working with Zack. He's been, of course, bringing a lot of attention to things that were going on behind the scenes during reshoots. So it's awesome. He's so humble and genuine, and I always love watching him on, whether it's interviews, live streams, whatever. He's on Twitch, stuff like that. He's very interactive with fans. He does Instagram lives. So it was awesome that he got to join the panels yesterday, one of the panels. So I'm probably going to forget some of the stuff that he mentioned. But yeah, he is Ray is a good, genuine guy, definitely. Um, Ray is so humble, absolutely. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for everyone in the comments saying hi. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm kind of nervous, so bear with me. And remember, I do have small kids. I'm not in a room with a closed door, so one of them may run by or something. Hopefully, no one starts screaming, but hey, hashtag mom life. So, um, he mentioned a lot of cool stuff and stuff that I wasn't expecting him to really get into. It's kind of surprised that he went into some detail about some of the stuff that went on behind the scenes with Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns and all of that. He, of course, was very excited to talk about Cyborg's arc. That all was cut out during reshoots and all of that. We didn't really get to see the emotional side of Cyborg, and he mentions like stuff that you might not think about for his character. For instance, that there is a traumatic side to having Cyborg's abilities in that he's connected to everything. Kind of how Superman, this was the example he gave, how Superman can hear everything at once, and he kind of has to learn how to focus in on that. And of course, we know that, you know, his mom, Martha, is who really helps him learn how to do that, making the world small. So he mentions that, you know, Cyborg is tapped into like he can listen to every phone call, he can hear all of that. So there is a traumatic or, you know, kind of a challenging side, of course, and we're going to get to see so much more of that. He mentioned we'll see four-arm Cyborg, which we have seen in the past. We saw some concept art for that. And about time you went live. I know, I told you guys I've just been nervous about it. I feel like I need to get this one out of my system, and then maybe I'll feel better about it. It was something about we're used to hearing the kids. I know, I'm sorry. It was something about Age of Ultron. So yes, he mentioned that Joss Whedon had made comments about the fact that people didn't understand Age of Ultron. And so Ray was kind of getting the sense that, you know, well, he kind of just was bitter towards the response to that movie. And, you know, I guess that's not surprising, but, you know, it's not fair to take it out on someone else's movie, even though you were brought in to finish it. What is four-arm Cyborg? Well, I mean, like 4 arms. There was some concept art quite a long time ago showing that Cyborg had like 4 arms. He kind of looks similar to a parademon in a way. Well, he's made from that mother box technology, so it makes sense. But we didn't see him with 4 arms in the theatrical cut. So it seems like it's likely that we will see that in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So he talked about that, and also talking about Joss Whedon. He said that they would not let him read the script until he sat down and met with Joss Whedon, which is very interesting. And he mentioned that he was in LA for the premiere of Wonder Woman. And hey, what's up, Indianapolis? Cool. Nice to have you here. So he was in LA for the Wonder Woman premiere, and he was also there so he could read the script for the reshoots. But they told him that Joss would not let him read it until he sat down and met with him, which kind of, I don't know. I would, you know, right there, if that were me, I would find that suspicious off the bat. So he seemed like, you know, he didn't really understand why, and that, you know, they kept giving them this, you know, at the end when they were doing reshoots and all of that, they gave them that PR statement to make about how Joss, like, say this about Joss Whedon, you know, and we remember, of course, he forcefully retracted that statement that he had made about Joss Whedon at Comic-Con. He said that was the only time that Joss is cringe. That the only time he had ever said anything positive about that experience, and that was because they were all kind of forced to push that narrative about reshoots. And he said it didn't really make sense on set, when they were like, oh, well, if this is still Zack's vision, then, why are we doing this or that? But, it seemed like they were, kind of deceived as much as we were as the fans, but they were just having to deal with all of the BS behind the scenes. So I'm not sure what that one's supposed to say. Okay. Hey Anthony, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Doing good. Hope you're doing okay. Jeffrey, hey everyone from Bridgeport, Connecticut, Gotham City. All right, nice to have you here, Jeffrey. Thanks for watching. So yeah, like I said, I was kind of surprised that he was giving detail about stuff going on behind the scenes with Joss. But hey, like he said, there's still a lot to do. Just because it's the end of an investigation does not mean that's just meaning, like he said, they have the facts they need to move forward. And so, what that means exactly, it's going to take time to find out. I hope we see the Atom in Parasite too. Parasite was in the Justice League as janitor at Star Labs. Is that, Well, Atom, yes, it is going to be Ryan Choi. He is going to be in the movie. But I don't think we'll see him as the Atom. He's just going to be, like Zack had mentioned before, he's kind of planting those seeds for a future, this future. But as far as the Parasite being the janitor, I'm not sure about that. But Ryan Choi is going to be in the movie at Star Labs. So Joss had his own selfish agenda. I think that could have been part of it. Based on what Ryan, based on what Ray said about the comments that Joss Whedon made on set about Age of Ultron, like, well, Age of Ultron was a very watered down villain. Like, he should have been so much more powerful. And Cyborg is he has those similar abilities as Ultron. So we should get to see how powerful he really can be, or has the potential to be if he taps into that. So we're going to get to see all of that finally. Let's see. The janitor who was talking to Cyborg's dad was Parasite. Okay, I didn't know that. If that's true, I did not know that. I guess we'll have to see. All right, let's see what other comments are here. Oh, Sydney, awesome. Thanks for watching. Keep up the great work. Keep this bloody 4-parter to come already. Me too. What's up, Nicotina? Oh, whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Where'd you go? There you are. Again, shout out to Nicotina for doing an awesome job organizing everything yesterday. Strong Arm, what's up? Thanks for watching. I'm curious on how Joss, of all people, ended up finishing the movie and not someone else. I mean, I know he has comic book movie credits to his name, but I do find it interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's if they were just like, oh, we need to get a Marvel person in here or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think they were just reacting to the criticisms, and they were like, okay, we tried to do our own thing, it didn't work. We need to be more like Marvel, so let's get a Marvel director in here. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just saying they were very reactive, like I said, to the criticisms of BVS Man of Steel. They're like, we tried to go that darker route. People are freaking out about it. Critics are freaking out about it. So we gotta try something else. We gotta be lighter, funnier. So I think it was just a reactionary response to what was happening as far as this huge controversy over BVS and Man of Steel. And I think that some people have the theory that it was kind of like a cover-up to say that he was going to do a Batgirl movie, and that, oh, he's here, so we'll just have him finish, Justice League 2. And then all of a sudden he wasn't going to be doing the Batgirl movie anymore. Some people think he wasn't actually going to do a Batgirl movie, and that they were just kind of saying that to make it seem like he was already involved with Warner Brothers and DC. I don't know. Either way, he's not doing a Batgirl movie, so I guess everyone's probably happy about that. All right, let's get some other comments in here. What's up? Nice to see you. Would you rather see a Ben Batman movie or a series? I would take either one. I think a series would have time to give more story and flesh it out. But at the same time, I would definitely be happy if they just let him have creative freedom to do what he wants for a movie. I would be happy either way. What's up, Ascended Ancient? How you doing? Do you think he paid people his way into finishing it now that we know Age of Ultron thing on set? I don't know. For like, if you're talking about stuff that he reshot or like all the stuff that he rewrote, I I've never really been able to tell if it was like the studio was like, okay, we want you to add. Well, obviously they told him what they wanted him to do, but I don't know how specific they were in saying like, um, we want you to specifically change this and make it, like the changes were dictated to him and what they wanted. But, if he's the one who was like, I'm gonna have, Flash fall on Wonder Woman and all that stuff, like if he was the one who's and writing it's, coming back to life was itchy and all that stuff, I don't know how specific they were in telling him really how much what they wanted, or if they were just like, we want lighthearted, funny, and make it shorter. So I don't know how specific the studio was, or if they were just like, do what you want and just as long as you do these things. Either way, it turned out bad. So, yeah. It was Jeff Johns, I bet. I don't. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. I really don't know. But it seemed like that Age of Ultron thing. Doesn't. It's not a good look. Ben's Batman movie was going to be like the movie The Gang with Michael Douglas. Yeah, I saw that. I had done a video about some of those comments that Joe Manganiello mentioned, and that was a lot of detail that he spilled on what the Batman movie was supposed to be. So hopefully that will happen one day. I remember watching Justice League. Joss did a terrible job. He did some good on the Avengers movie from 2012, which was the best movie in my opinion, but he didn't. I didn't mind. Yeah, the first Avengers movie was not bad. Was overrated. Hey, thanks for watching. Glad to see you. What would you like to see in the Flash movie? Well, I'm just going to say that if they are going to do Flashpoint, then I hope it is Flashpoint. Like, I mean, I don't expect them maybe to like do it down to every single detail, but I think it should at least be somewhere in the realm of like what we would expect to see for a Flashpoint movie. I hope they go there. I hope they take the risk. I really do hope so. Yes, thank you, Nicotina. Leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Thank you. Let me go back up to this comment I saw here. All right. Yes, here's Bob's Adventures. I will be joining him sometime in the new year. And so shout out to him. Go over to find him on YouTube or and Twitter and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I don't know how much was specifically Joss Whedon's decision or the studio, but either way, it was the studio meddling and trying to, of course, deceive us into thinking it was Zack's decisions to make all these changes. So, of course, I could go on and on about that, but let's get to some other highlights from yesterday. As most of you probably saw, Zack Snyder was on several streams. I knew ahead of time that he was going to be, most of us knew, he was going to be on with Dave the Film Junkie and Chris Wong from Ping Pong Flicks. But I didn't know that he was going to pop in on so many other ones. He joined a couple of the international ones, and in between, they're editing and they're calling him back to go upstairs to look at the reels and stuff like that. He was, popping in and out to say hi to so many people. And that's awesome. Like, so many of us have said this. No one else in the film industry on his level interacts with fans this much. I mean, like him, Ray Fisher, Ray Porter, they are very interactive with fans. Um, Zach gave so much of his time to do this, and I think it's because like he really appreciates everything that the fandom has done, not just for his movie but for his family and raising all this awareness. And it's really awesome to see him, just be so humble and show his appreciation for the fans, just to hop on and have a good conversation. So let me read this question. Was it about race? I don't know. He didn't say that Joss made racial he didn't get that specific, but he said that he seemed bitter because people didn't understand Age of Ultron, and that, Ray Fisher was saying there's things about the character that were not considered that should have been. So for instance, this is a black superhero in a modern world, and he, a black man in a hoodie, and like there's going to be challenges that a character like that encounters and realities in this modern world that we live in, and those things were not taken into consideration for his character. I love the fact we're going to see Farm Cyborg. Yeah, I don't know when or how, but yeah, we're going to see it somehow. Are you surprised that there won't be a post-credit scene for Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because I remember Joe Manganiello said back in May that there was a post-credit. Yeah, I'm expecting that scene to still be in there, but I think it's just going to be like more of like Zack doesn't really do credit scenes. He does like epilogues. So I'm not really surprised that there won't be a credit scene, but I know we'll still see that Deathstroke scene. It wasn't supposed to be with Batman, but what he said about the credit scene that he was a part of, Joe Manganiello, is that in the theatrical version, okay, we got that credit scene with him and Lex Luthor. For the reshoots, Lex Luthor's dialogue was reshot. Jesse Eisenberg. His dialogue was reshot, but Joe Manganiello's was not. So when we see Deathstroke, that's Snyder, and then part of what we hear from Lex Luthor, part of his dialogue was reshot to make it seem like they were setting up for a Justice League 2 movie with the League, with the League of Doom or whatever. But it was really supposed to set up the Batman and Deathstroke movie. And so that's why they changed the dialogue, because that, the Batfleck script, that Batfleck movie was already being changed, to do Robert Pattinson and all that. So that's what it's supposed to be. Now I see it being as, an epilogue, kind of like what he did with the communion scene. So I don't see there being, it's still going to be in there, just not probably part of the main story or the main plot. It's kind of going to be like an epilogue is what I expect. And I also expect to see him in the nightmare scene. Deathstroke. All right. Will you be reviewing Wonder Woman 84? I should be. I plan to see it in theaters on opening day. And Zack mentioned a lot of excitement for that. He is very proud of that as well. I want to see Nicolas Cage, Superman, Brandon Routh, and The Flash, Linda Carter. There have been a lot of rumors about who's going to have some kind of appearance for, multiverse and all of that. But we still don't really know too much about it for sure. So, Zack, one thing I want to clear up. I've seen some people on like Instagram, some accounts sharing that Zack Snyder confirmed March 25th is the release date for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there's going to be a marathon with Man of Steel BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League on that day. He did not confirm that. So I just want to put that out there. He still, okay, we know he said March, but he did not say March 25th. When that came up, Ray Fisher had even kind of said like, oh, that would be fitting because it's, the anniversary of BVS. But it was not confirmed to be the release date. And speaking of a marathon, Zack was saying, oh, that would be a fun thing to do, like over a few days, whether it's in the theater or whatever, to have like a marathon, of starting with Man of Steel. But that's not a confirmed release date. He said that they want to let Wonder Woman 84 have its time, do its thing. He doesn't want to take away from that attention. And so, um, you know, early in the year, that's when they are really going to start pushing Zack Snyder's Justice League. We'll have a new trailer, there's going to be a new poster, and, a release date. Not probably all at once, but early in the year, that's when they're really going to start cranking things out to market Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so he says he doesn't know the exact release date yet, but we can expect March. All right. So just want to clear that up because I have seen some stuff, not so much on Twitter, because I think the people in the fandom on Twitter are kind of more like, we watched these streams and stuff. And so I don't know, but I've seen it on Instagram that March 25th was confirmed, which it was not. And it's fair that they're not going to give us the exact release date yet, because Wonder Woman 84 has only been released internationally. It's not in the US yet or on HBO Max yet. So they got to give that its time, He also said that he wants Ben to be able to make his Deathstroke movie. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to, but oh, thanks for stopping by. Don't get in trouble at work. So he would love for Ben to be able to make his Deathstroke movie, which is not surprising. I'm sure he would want to see it just as much as the rest of us. Super have gone live. Yeah, I just had to take the plunge. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I'm kind of getting past my nerves a little bit now. So of course we all want to see that, right? He also said he supports the release of the Ayer cut because he understands, obviously what a director feels if they don't get to release their own original version, their movie. So he supports that as well, but that he hasn't talked to David Ayer about it yet, but he suspects that he will sometime in the near future talk to him about it. And of course, he mentioned several times that he really would love to have Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX theaters. I think we all would want that, but there's still no confirmation yet whether or not it's going to be 4 separate hours or 4 straight hours. So lately there have been things going around that it's going to go back to just being 1 4-hour long movie and not 4 separate episodes, but we don't know that yet. We'll see. Again, he talked a lot about deconstructing heroes and, that he loves to do that, we know, with his superheroes, and it makes him a lot more interesting. There was one thing he mentioned I like. He was kind of comparing the director or filmmaker's point of view and the studio point of view. And he kind of described it as like, it's good for a movie to kind of like not bother you, but kind of poke you a little bit is how he described it. So kind of challenge you. It confronts you is what he was saying. The filmmakers, it's like a ball, he said. And the filmmakers one is kind of pokey and it's it's a little challenging. You have to handle it more carefully. But the studios their point of view is very smooth and everyone can handle it. So I like how he made that distinction there. Do you think Supergirl was taken in the battle by Darkseid and she is a Fury under mind control? I hope she is Grail or something. I think that's been a very popular theory. I hope that somehow that comes to be true. Zack did reply to a comment. He did reply to a comment that someone had said that in a Vero post. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Someone mentioned that because I know it is a popular fan theory, right? And I think it's super, super interesting to think about. I don't know where it's going to be. It's going to be quite a long time ago. Sorry, I lost my thought for a second. Yeah, I do think it makes sense for her to be at the history battle, because for Steppenwolf to say no lanterns, no Kryptonians, no protectors, that to me you know, that to me gives the impression that there was a Kryptonian at the battle originally when Darkseid, or Euxis, sorry, when he first comes here to Earth in that history battle that we're going to see a lot more of. So for him to say that, I think that that meant that there had to have been a Kryptonian here on Earth. And Zack mentioned that we're going to see that open pod again when the League is taking Superman's body into the ship to resurrect him. They're going to pass by that pod, and we know that that pod was left as a little seed planted in Man of Steel a long time ago, and Zack's very intentional in his filmmaking. So I mean, every time Zack has asked about that, he talks around it, and he kind of just gives like vague answers. When someone had also asked him on a stream, I believe it was, not yesterday, but another time, how many Kryptonians on Earth? And he said the easy answer is, well, one, Kal-El. But, having that open pod plants a seed for the possibility that there's another Kryptonian out there. And I think it's not, going back to the comment that someone had asked him on Vero, does Supergirl get, captured by Darkseid or taken by Darkseid? He responded with the little praying hands emoji. So Zack Snyder did. So hopefully that's, not necessarily confirmation, but it's maybe something to say like you guys are on the right track in your thinking. So I think that'd be awesome to see as well. Zack and Ray Fisher were amazing. Yeah, it was always cool to listen to them. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, fully understand now what you mean about Ray and Joss. Yeah, okay. And again, probably rewatching him on Poindexter's Lounge, like you'd probably get a better idea of what he was trying to say than me just repeating it. You think Ryan Reynolds is Green Lantern? No, not really anymore. Well, even in the beginning, I didn't think it was a very high possibility. I don't think they would be able to just kind of shove him in there, especially because they only did like a week or two of reshoots. It was very little, and it's only like 4 or 5 extra minutes of footage. So I don't think so. I really don't think so. You'll see Ryan Reynolds how. If we do, I really can't think of how it's going to be included. And I don't think it's going to actually be like he has a role in the movie. I don't know if somehow they'll show him like passing through the Speed Force or something. I don't know. I don't know how many possibilities there are as, really showing him as Green Lantern. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of not really a possibility anymore. Let me see. I want to find the clip of. There's a screenshot of it. Oh, there it is. All right. Zack shared a quick little like snippet of the Junkie XL score. And so let's see if I can get this to play. Bear with me, okay? All right, let's see if it'll play. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let me see. He, yeah. I cannot wait to hear Junkie XL's score. Oh my gosh. I gotta share audio. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to hear it. All right, I think you guys can hear it this time. Let me start it over. Oh. 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 Okay, I don't know if you guys are able to hear that or not. I hope so. Let me see. You said you could hear it, but not through the stream. Okay, not sure what that means. I hope you guys are able to hear it. But he did share that quick little snippet. He always likes to casually share stuff when he's on streams. Like he doesn't say anything. You just see him like scrolling through his phone, and then all of a sudden he'll hold it up and He'll share something, which is pretty funny. All right. Let me take this off really quick. Let's see what else. Who else is hyped for the Batman? Yeah, I definitely am. I really am. Um, I know I want both. Like, I'm a Robert Pattinson fan. I, you know, and I love Batfleck, so I want both. Are you pumped for the Batman? Yeah, no, I am. Um, I am interested. I think Matt Reeves is. It's going to be dark. It's going to be gritty. I'm interested in it for sure. Let's see. Hey, what's up? Man of Steel in IMAX would be amazing. Yeah, it would. And, that's still my favorite DCEU movie. And I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is also going to be my favorite. So probably late March. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I'm glad we at least know the month now because we've been waiting a long time. So whether it's early or late March, I can't wait to find out. Let's see. He also said that his grandmother, yeah, I remember him saying that was his grandmother's birthday. How long do you expect Just League to be? 4 hours or 5? I'm asking too much. Probably a little. I don't think it'll be exactly 5, but it'll probably be like a little over 4, maybe. Would you have Ben Affleck Batman series or movie? Okay, this was a question that was brought up earlier. I would take both. I would take whatever they're willing to give us as long as it's like, they let Ben do what he wants to do. Have you heard any details about the pic Zack had on his phone when he played? I saw some people like kind of zooming in and showing that, you can kind of see Steppenwolf there. Watch, let me go back to it. I just had it up. Let me find it and then I'll share it. But I don't know if it was playing, like, if that's the same file or he just had that on his phone. And that's like, it was playing in the background. Watch here. Let me see. Let me share it really quick. Takes a second. Sorry. All right. So, yeah, people have kind of zoomed in on Zack's phone. I can't really tell if those are like clips or they're just pictures and then he has the snippet playing in the background. So, yeah, I see Steppenwolf there and it kind of looks like Batman underneath too. But like I said, I don't know if those are actually like the audio clips or those are the clips and then, so I don't know if that's Steppenwolf's theme or not. But either way, I can't wait to hear the score, like I said. What's up? Also, Deborah Snyder was on Lightcast podcast. They usually do some pretty good interviews, so it was cool to see her on an interview. We don't really see her on interviews too often, except for like press or if she's on a watch party with Zack or something like that. So it was nice to see her. She excuse me. It was really interesting what she had to say about when they first pitched, when they were starting to have discussions about releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League. So it was super interesting to hear what she had to say. She was saying that they were like, well, we don't have any money, and so we don't have money. And Zack is like, well, my score isn't done, my visual effects aren't done, and my movie is not 2 hours, it's 4 hours. My director's cut is super long. And so they told them, like, you can just release the unfinished version. And they're like, no. No. We are going to do this right. If we're going to do it, then we're going to do it right. We want to give our fans the complete version. They said that they had to do a presentation for them with analytics, with showing fan engagement. So I'm assuming that includes a lot of like what has happened on Twitter over the past few years, and probably just all of the types of events or things that fans have done to draw awareness and attention to the Snyder Cut. I mean, people were flying airplanes, people were getting billboards, people were getting Times Square billboards. I don't know who could afford that, but someone did. And I mean, letter writing campaigns and just global things, So I don't know if that's what they showed them, but if she says fan engagement, I'm guessing it includes at least a lot of that stuff, showing that there's a demand for the completed original vision that Zack Snyder had, and that he has a fan base who do love Man of Steel and BVS and do want that tone and do want that kind of universe. So she said there was, a few months of, going back and forth about this with them. And then in January of this year is when it really got serious. And so I remember a while back now, because we're already almost in New Year. I don't know. You guys probably remember it too. There was someone on Vero who had told Zack, "I'm giving up. Like, I'm like losing hope that this is ever going to happen." And Zack said, "Don't." And so a lot of you probably remember that comment. And Zack had started sharing a bunch of the Excalibur references with a picture, like, several days in a row. And that's when I think, like, maybe around that time is when they were having talks with the studio. And then, beginning of the year, that's when they were really getting down to the details of how and what they were going to do. And so it seems like Zack and Deborah Snyder really fought to be able to do the completed version and, change everything back to Zack's original vision. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been a point. And, they were like, we need to acknowledge the dedication that the fans have given us. So we're not just going to give them an unfinished version. Hi from Chile. You think this movement goes beyond the film and has been a precedent for the cinema? Because it's what I feel. Yeah. I don't know why people think it's a dangerous precedent. I think it's important that filmmakers and directors get to show their original vision without having interference. So I think it opens a lot of doors. You're doing a great job. Hi from South Africa. Oh, thank you. Wow. 4 a.m. I hope you get some sleep, but thanks for watching. Have you finally seen Swamp Thing? No, I haven't actually. But I did hear good things about it, and some people were kind of like disappointed when they decided to cancel it. So, we'll see what happens with it now. Amazon's raised who? I'm not sure who you're talking about. The person whoever was in the pod. They didn't explain the timeline that pod was open. They made a comic book. Yeah, I remember the prequel comic book they made. It was thousands of years ago, because in Man of Steel, they're very specific when they say that it has been in the ice for like over 18,000 years. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the history battle when Euxis, well, in the theatrical version, they say Steppenwolf invaded Earth. That was also like 20,000 years ago. That was like a super long time ago. The old gods were still around. So I don't think that's a coincidence for that. Yeah, that's what this is for. Of course, I want to answer your questions. I'm very excited for January's Zack Snyder Justice League marketing. Curious to see how annoyed the haters will be. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're already annoyed as soon as it was announced, because it didn't exist, right? Oh, it existed, but it wasn't finished. Well, we know that. Zack Snyder's Justice League episode ends with, oh, good. Oh, thanks, Sil Abdul, for watching. I don't know. If they do decide to do it 4 separate episodes, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I expect each episode to end with like, oh, I can't wait to see, like, some kind of cliffhanger, right? But I don't really have any idea where each episode's going to start and finish, because 4 hours of content is a lot. We do know, I mean, some stuff, but there's so much that we don't know. And so it's hard to like say where each episode is going to end, because there's just so much that we don't know. And it's hard to say where it would end. But I do expect them to end on cliffhangers, of course, because that's what makes you want to watch the next one. If Ryan Reynolds were to be Green Lantern, and I say if because he's not, He wouldn't be from the 2000. Yeah, exactly. I know he wouldn't be that same Green Lantern, but I just don't know. With I am still like, if you are a subscriber to my channel and you've seen the video that I made about Green Lantern, I very strongly believe that it is Sam Benjamin. I don't think it's going to be Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds, but I think it's going to be Sam Benjamin, whether we see him suited up or not. Okay. Yeah, it is hardcore. You heard it? Okay. I had forgot to turn on the audio thing the first time, so I'm glad you guys heard it. Oh yeah, he talked about Joker. Yeah, when Zack was talking about continuing in a comic book series, continuing his universe, there was stuff he said that he had thought about for a long time, or that Joker would somehow be involved with stealing the mother box to create the cosmic treadmill and like all this crazy stuff. So yeah, but as far as the movie, I think we're going to see him in either. Oh, and also that the comic book series would kind of explore the death of Robin, and that Batman would be reliving these moments and stuff. So I think we're going to see Joker in a Batman sequence in the movie, and possibly also a flashback really quickly to when Robin dies. Zack also said that at the screening, Warner Brothers was impressed with the score. Yeah, I remember that. You're right. He did say that. Who wouldn't be? The score is amazing. Justice League. I mean, Junkie XL is amazing. How could you ever get rid of him? The suit, yeah, I'm a little on the fence about Robert Pattinson's Batman suit as well. What makes me upset is that some haters say that Zack Snyder's Justice League is the same. Oh, I know. That's because they just don't understand. All you have to do is watch the trailers and then go watch what we got in theaters. And that's obviously like not what we were supposed to get. I've seen people say that, but if they do, like, say for instance, they cast him as, I forget his name, Aaron something, right? I forget his name. Say for instance that they did cast the guy who plays Homelander as Reverse Flash. Yes, acting wise, he could probably pull that off. But I think since people are so familiar with him now as Homelander, it would be hard for them to unsee him as Homelander, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So I don't know. Like, I think he's too recognizable now as Homelander. And so, I mean, it seems like he could play a good Reverse Flash, but it's kind of like saying Henry Cavill gets cast as like a different superhero, not maybe necessarily also like in DC, but say, in a different comic book universe. It would be hard to unsee him as Superman because he's so now recognizable as Superman. So acting wise, I could see why people would want him, but sorry, my kids came over for a second. Let's see. They're moving clips. Yeah, okay, they are moving clips. Okay. Going back to what Zack Snyder was showing. Let's see. I don't know, for me it was hard to tell, and then I didn't even really catch on until someone mentioned, showed that screenshot. I guess it might be. Let's go back. Where's the clip that you can hear? Oh, no, that's a screenshot. It could be, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, I just saying I couldn't tell. Okay, let's see. Oh, well.
Oh,
Okay, well, he moves his phone, and so then I'm not sure. I can't tell if they're moving clips or not. Um, but they definitely could be. They might be. Yeah, I did see Batman was below there. Um, so you know, what are we talking about? We're talking about a bunch of stuff. Zack Snyder's Justice League mostly. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Really hope we get an official release date soon. Yeah, me too. Like Zach said, should be early in the new year. They're gonna let Wonder Woman 84, give it time to breathe for that, let it have its little time so they don't overshadow that. They don't want to take away from that. I'm just glad that they've been able. Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, it was even crazy that Deborah Snyder said that they had to show that they had to do like a presentation for them to show um fan engagement. Like, I don't understand why they would need to show that. Like, anyone who is has ever paid attention to this fandom um can see that there is a huge demand for it. Like, I don't understand why they would need to like prove that to them. They should have already known that over the past few years. Sorry, I meant to switch back to my camera. um they should have already known that for the past few years. I mean, it started as soon as like the theatrical cut came out. And so I don't really understand why they would have to prove that there's a demand to them, because they, of all people, should know that there's a huge demand for it. I mean, these large corporations and movie studios and stuff, they have huge like teams just for social media, and stuff like that. So I mean, it's kind of surprising to me that they would need to prove that to them. Doesn't really make any sense, but hey, at least we are going to see it now. We're going to get it, and that's the important thing. But yeah, I don't know why they'd have to prove that to them. They should have already seen that with the rest of the world. I have a question. Do you reckon a relationship between Bruce and Diane would work in the DCEU? I've always liked them together. I think that they have shown maybe that is a possibility at some point. Um, I mean, as soon as Bruce sees her, he says that she's beautiful and stuff like that to Superman. But I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry about that. My throat's a little dry. Um, but I think a lot of people would like to see that for sure. And, Diana puts him in his place. I love this DCU because it's based on our time and it's exactly what would happen in our world. Yes, exactly. Um, I think, Zach and Deborah, both on the streams that they were on yesterday, they both touched on deconstructed heroes, real life, real world situations that, just because these beings are super beings and, pretty much gods on earth, they are not, it does not, like, what kind of challenges would they face in a real world? And that's exactly what Zach wanted to do when he started, Man of Steel. So, um, yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do. And, a lot of people weren't ready for that, is what they mentioned on Lightcast podcast with Deborah Snyder. People, she said that in BVS, people wanted their superheroes straight out of the comic books. And that's, she's like, we're telling people we're getting there, but we want to see them go through an arc. We want to go see them go through character development and see what makes them the way that they are. And so I love their approach personally. And I'm sure most of you in the comments do as well if you're here watching my my live stream. Swamp Thing was amazing. Yeah, like I said, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I haven't watched it, so I'll have to take a look. Um, yeah, it was pretty cool when he was sharing all the Excalibur stuff. Everyone was like, "Something's happening." Starts off strong but falls off in the second half. Oh, okay. Well, That does happen sometimes. That's kind of how, not to get off topic, but that's kind of how the second season of Daredevil was for me. And then the third season came back, and I was like, "This is such a good season," and they canceled it. um, Nintendo was still good. Yeah. Supergirl and all those movies, like, they fell off for me quite a while ago. Um, a few people have said that would be awesome. I would love to join his stream. I've been a fan since long before I started a channel, so he's great. We do interact together on Twitter and stuff like that, so it has to be Sam Benjamin. I agree. I think that yes, just sorry. Mom life over here. Double multitasking. Um, I think it's such a strong possibility that he is Hal Jordan. I just think there's too much stuff, too many coincidences of stuff that he's posted that he's not. What? Sam Benjamin is a UK actor who, I mean, I don't know if you're being serious or if you're being sarcastic, but he find him on Instagram. I mean, and go back to like the time before Justice League came out in theaters and even afterward. He had about a 20 to 30-minute arc for whoever his character was that was cut out from the movie. And he was very excited about his role. He's talked so much about working with Zack Snyder, how much he appreciated his experience with him and admires him. And the cast, like, he loves all of them as well. And he had shared a lot of little things that kind of pointed to the fact that he might be a Green Lantern character or someone who eventually becomes Green Lantern. So yeah, and Henry Cavill was sharing stuff a long time ago too about, joking about being bigger than Green Lantern and stuff like that. Y'all are aware that Green Lantern 2011 was supposed to jumpstart. Yeah, yeah, I do remember that, but that didn't happen. So it's kind of crazy that was, yes, you're correct. That was supposed to be the beginning of a DCEU, or well, wouldn't have been called, probably wouldn't have been called that back then, but so it was supposed to, but it didn't get received very well, and it definitely had its flaws. Ben looks really skinny now, a more gaunt, skinny look, and I'm a Batman. He does definitely look different than he did before, but you might not be as noticeable in the suit. If he filmed additional photography in the bat suit, might not be as noticeable, especially if he has the trench coat on again. But he definitely looks like he's in a healthier place than he was, at the end of all of that. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. YouTube is having a meltdown on my 3-year-old. Yeah, Anthony Starr. There we go. I knew it was an A name, Andy or Anthony. Yeah, I guess maybe with the mask and stuff, but I still think he's too recognizable as Homelander. Zack said that his editor. Yes, thank you for reminding me to bring that up. So, talking about editing and that all the visual effects shots that are coming in for them to edit. Zack that said that over 80% of these shots that are coming in for them to edit of Zack Snyder's Justice League footage is completely unseen. Well, no. I think you're getting this stat wrong. He did say over 80% is unseen, but he said that 100% was changed in some way in the theatrical version. So 80% of it was unseen, stuff that we have not seen yet, but like all of it was somehow changed or altered. And so they have to like go back and put it back the way they want for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, I don't understand why they had to convince them Do you think we'll get Apollo and Midnighter in the DC? I don't know. I think they might try to cover the more recognizable characters first. And so, but I mean, if they're gonna do like a plastic girl, plastic whatever movie, then who knows? I guess. Yes, Man of Steel is my favorite as well. Yeah, they did. Diana and Batman have had relationships before. Yes, it was a huge deal last year. November 17th was released the Snyder Cut. Supes and Wonder Woman. No, that's not going to happen in this universe. I'm sorry. Unless they show. Oh, no, because she dies in the nightmare scene. In the nightmare scene, not the nightmare scene, the nightmare universe. Wonder Woman's not there. He has to be with Lois in this universe. I'm sorry. Do you think Dick Grayson comes back to life? No. Someone asked Zack Snyder about that on Vero before. He said no, that he is officially dead. I don't, that's not really Zack's style. Like, oh, we're going to kill this character. Well, except Superman, but Superman, can't die. Um, officially, permanently. He said that Dick Grayson is permanently dead in this universe. So, I'm sorry. With Warner Brothers Pictures specifically, there's always been a disconnect between the execs and the audience, but Jason Keeler at Warner Media totally understands the fans, so we're good. Yeah, I think, with the Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, when he came out recently and said that he also had interference in those movies, yeah, I think it's probably just been like this pattern over, however many years. And Jason Keeler does seem like he's very fan centered, so that should be a good thing. And Ann Sarnoff is WB CEO now, so I think I'm better now, but I just get a little bit nervous when the kids come over and ask me for something. They are definitely masterpieces for sure. Deathstroke. I did like Deathstroke in that. Yeah, it was pretty cool that they included him. I liked him on season 2. Yeah, Zack did mention that as well, Carrie Kelly, on a Vero post. I remember him saying that. Looks like Ava DuVernay, New Gods, pretty much dead. I mean, they said that they're still working on it, but who knows how far down the line that's ever going to happen? I really don't know. But if they do, I hope they keep Ray Porter for Darkseid in the DCU, or Jason Todd, or both. I think it's possible that maybe Jason Todd could show up at some time. I don't see why not. Would you accept Shazam in Justice League? I like the Shazam movie. Maybe if they could. I mean, if it didn't seem out of place for him to fit in, because his movie is kind of like Shazam is under that other studio, right? New Line. So, if they could make it work to where it seems like he makes sense to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want him to be there just to be there because he's part of the Justice League in the comics and in the animated movies. Like, if it feels right, then that would be fine. But if they're just going to put him in there just to be like a comedic relief, or he's supposed to be part of the Justice League because he's Shazam, so we'll just put him in, then no. Like, I think it needs to be right. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. Not just for the sake of having him there because he's Shazam. Dick Grayson being dead is absolute travesty. No Dick Grayson and no Robin. Well, I mean, there could be other Robins. I hope the Nightwing movie eventually happens again. That one got kind of thrown out. Black Adam, other than Hawkman. Cyclone's going to be in it, and also Dr. Fate is going to be in that as well. So Dwayne Johnson said recently that they will be revealing who's going to be cast as Dr. Fate. They already revealed who's going to be Hawkman and Cyclone. And the other guy, is his name's Adam Smasher? I think so. Zack killed the Nightwing movie, basically. Well, no, because they don't all have to connect. They're not all based on one singular plot line. Zack would do a good job with Shazam. Well, yeah, I think he would do a good job with any character movie that he's given, but fortunately, we can't see him do everything. Please don't hate me. I actually love the Martha scene in BVS with Bruce. Oh yeah, of course. When people were griping about that, I could not understand why. It was ridiculous. It made sense. Totally made sense. Did you see Justice League Dark Apocalypse? And if so, what are your thoughts? I did see it, and I remember that a lot of people were saying like, if we ever got Zack Snyder's Justice League, that people would expect it to be similar. Yeah, I'm Smasher. That's right. Okay, that's what I thought his name was. Imagine for this a moment opening scene, Justice League 2, all of the Justice League members and all the world supervillains fighting side by side to fight the dark side. That would be really cool. That would definitely be cool. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, though, in that nightmare scene, or that nightmare future, guess you should say, only a few of them are left, and that's why I think Joker and Deathstroke will be there with Batman, and Flash should be there, and probably Cyborg. But pretty much everyone else is dead, and Superman is like obliterating everyone, taking over. So, but that would be a pretty cool thing to see. Do you think we will get Grifter DCU? Matt Damon. I'm not completely familiar with that character, so I would have to see. Maybe. Hopefully we get Green Arrow. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people fan cast what's his name? Someone tell me in the comments. What's that guy's name that everyone fan casts as Green Arrow? He always has the goatee and the facial hair. Oh, he has the blonde hair. I always forget. Oh, what's his name? The guy that everyone fan casts as Green Arrow. I think he'd make a good. He definitely looks like he would be Green Arrow. I can't remember. Oh, what's his name? But I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know if he would necessarily have like his own movie, but it'd be cool to see him in a team up movie at some point. Killing Dick was just a bad move to me. Jason's death hit Bruce insanely hard. In fact, Jason's death is the catalyst. Yeah, well, okay, that was having Robin get killed was part of the it gives us a sense as to why this Batman in BVS is the way he is. So that's kind of, that's part of his experience over the years as Batman. And so since we didn't get him that way, like, his own movie and all of that, like that's what they're showing us, that this is part of the reason why, this Batman is the way he is. But I understand people, kind of get touchy about it. Yeah, I didn't understand that either. People just nitpick. Charlie Hunnam, there you go. Yes, thank you. He is popularly fan cast as Green Arrow. Grifter was in the Flashpoint cartoon. He had the blonde hair and red mask, and he has guns. Oh, I can't remember. I'd probably have to see him to remember. I do love the Flashpoint animated movie, though. Oh, really? I don't remember. If I saw him, then I'd probably remember. Let me see. Let me get. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I guess it depends how they feel like, an audience would respond, or a general audience, because apparently that's what they care a lot about. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I haven't given it much thought before now. Yeah, a lot of people do think Chase Momoa would have been a good Lobo, and that's who he thought could have possibly been auditioning for, right? When he went into audition, he definitely didn't think it was Aquaman, or he thought he was going to be like a villain or something. Jason's death was why Bruce stepped away. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Garrett Hedlund is Green Arrow. I don't know who that is. Let me look that up. Garrett Hedlund. Let's see who this is. I like when people do fan casts. I always think it's interesting to see who people. Okay. Um, I don't recognize him, but yeah, maybe physically I see it. I always like to see people fan cast as different characters. Let's see. Can you imagine what it would be like to marathon? I know. I don't know if I'd throw the Ayer cut in there. I wasn't a big fan of Suicide Squad. Maybe David Ayer's cut would be better, but in one day, I don't think you could do that in one day, especially because Zack Snyder's Justice League alone is 4 hours. So unless you like completely stay up overnight. Hey, Fatal J, thanks for joining. Let's see. I have a theory for Zack Snyder's Justice League. What do you think of Barry asks about Dick Grayson Robin? Say, yeah, I do think that there will be some kind of dialogue where Bruce is, talking about what happened. And I think that's when it's going to maybe flash really quickly to his death or something. I do think it has to come up somehow, one way or another. Yeah, it is. The Dark Knight Returns and BVS have a lot of similarities, and Zack mentioned that is his favorite, like, Batman. So, yeah. No. Oh, theatrical cut on Netflix? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Theatrical cut of what? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Suicide Squad either. Oh, okay. Well, if he's one of your favorite characters, then I definitely understand why that would be disappointing for him to die. Here's fan cast Charles Melton as Terry McGinnis. Let me see who that is. I'm not familiar with who that is, unless I just don't know by memory. Let's see. I have heard that also. Oh, okay. All right. Charles Melton. Okay. As Terry McGinnis. Well, there have been rumors off and on before that they maybe do a Batman Beyond. Batman's always going to be their big money maker. So, I don't see why they. Thanks, Luis. I don't see why they wouldn't maybe possibly do a Batman Beyond at some point. Like I said, Batman is their big, who has more movies DC ever than Batman? Batman is always going to have the most. And anytime there's like events like DC Fandom or anything like that, Batman always has the most attention. Did you see Ohio Dave's post? Let's see. What did he post? Right now? Recently? He's always posting something interesting. Let's see. You're gonna have to tell me which one you're talking about, Anthony. Which one? Let's see. Let me share my screen here. He's posting. You're gonna have to tell me which post you're talking about, because I see a couple of GIFs here, but I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Yeah, okay, the football GIF. Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that because my husband is a Patriots fan. And so, yeah, that was a big moment. I remember that. But, yeah, so, that's another thing I want to talk about. Deborah Snyder also talked about a favorite part of Cyborg in the movie, in which he helps a single mother who is struggling, and he, deposits money. He gives her a bunch of money into her bank account because he's tapped into all of that. So she says that there's this, juxtaposition where he helps the single mother, but then he turns around and, he's in his hoodie and everything. And this couple looks at him and they're kind of afraid of him. And so, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to see for Cyborg. Let's see. Do you get it? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm missing something now that you mention it. Does it have to do with the fandom? Is it supposed to be like a reference to, the fandom here? I mean, I know that's when they won the Super Bowl and intercepted it. I guess, I'm guessing it's supposed to be like a, is it 21? Is what 21? Not sure what you're talking about. The player who catches it. I'm guessing it's supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing something here or if it's just like, is it supposed to be March 21st? Yes, the fandom. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's telling me to look at this for a reason, not just the fact that it's like, oh, remember when this happened? Off subject. Do you watch Baby Yoda, aka Mandalorian? A lot of people ask me about the Mandalorian, but I am not a big Star Wars fan, and so, I have tried to watch a few episodes of the first season. I'll probably watch like the finale of the second season because I know it's a big deal of what happened, but I'm just not a big Star Wars fan. So you're getting warmer. Okay. Is it supposed to hint at the date for March? March 21st? Well, how would he know that? I know everyone's like always like, how? What do you know? I guess we'll see. It's a cryptic GIF to post. Is it supposed to be the release date, Anthony, that he's talking about? Possibly. Or is it like, symbolizing the whole fandom as a whole? When are we going to get more Superman? I mean, I can't wait to see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League the way he's supposed to be shown and resurrected and come back in all his glory. But, I hope another Superman movie is on their radar as a priority. I hope they realize how much people want Henry Cavill in another solo Superman movie. So I really hope they take notice of that because I definitely want it. It was amazing to see Christina Ren as Major Carrie Ferris in the Lightcast podcast. Hopefully we see her. Yeah, I know, people really like her. And it's cool that when Harry Lennox was on Lightcast podcast a couple of weeks ago, his interview was great. He said that they have a very strong friendship. Like they've spent like their families have gotten together and spent time together. They have a really good friendship, so that's pretty cool. Thoughts on Justice League Black Suit Superman? I can't wait. He looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in high quality and like it's gonna be beautiful. Just the fact that Zack was like, "Oh, you're not gonna let me shoot in a black suit? Okay, I'll just shoot the red and blue suit in a way that I can change it if and when I ever get to show my black suit." To me, it's crazy that he thought about that. Like just thought ahead that way when they told him that he couldn't shoot in a black suit. It's crazy to me that was what, I don't know, did he already have a plan B or something? I don't know. I'm talking about a Supes film, DC's. Yeah, I know. I was also surprised by how little they acknowledged Superman at DC fandom. I was actually very disappointed by that. Batman had so many panels and like so much attention, and there was like nothing for Superman. So that was pretty disappointing to me too. Oh, thank you, Bob's Adventures. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here in probably like a few minutes. Why isn't Bruce going to go with the League to fight Superman at Heroes Park? Once he is brought back, I always wanted to know about me too. Actually, I was watching that clip the other day on YouTube, just of them fighting the League. It's like the most watchable part of the movie for me, the theatrical version. I don't know, because I also have heard that Bruce is not supposed to be there, which makes sense because the whole all of the time that we see Bruce there in the theatrical version is reshoots. Yeah, reshoots. So I also don't know. I mean, it seems like he's supposed to be at the ship, isn't he? I don't know. Maybe he's not even supposed to be at the ship when they resurrect him, but I don't know what role he's going to play exactly in resurrecting him, because it seems like everyone else is there to go exhume Superman's body. The pictures that Zack had shown a long time ago of, you know, Flash, Cyborg digging him up, and then Wonder Woman and Aquaman waiting there at the van. It seems like, okay, they're all there, but Bruce is not. And so, is he still back at the Batcave? Is he at the Wayne? Is he at the hangar? Where is he? Does he even go with them to the ship? Does he go to them with them to the ship, but then he's not out there at Heroes Park at the monument? I don't know. So I wondered about that myself. I have wondered about that myself, and we will find out soon enough. Because we know he's not going to be there to bring in, to have Alfred bring in Lois Lane. That was part of reshoots. She does show up, most likely, because we see her there looking up and she sees Superman in the air. So, she does show up, but, Alfred is not the one to take her there. So I don't really know what Batman's going to be doing during that time, but we'll see. So not to leave abruptly, but I am probably going to have to wrap it up right about now. Let's see. Maybe he was so upset about Soup saying Martha. Yeah. But thanks, guys, so much for joining me on my first live broadcast. Sorry for some of the little, interruptions and some of the, me taking a minute to find where I need to click and stuff. I was a little bit nervous, but thank you guys for helping me get over my first time jitters for live streaming. I hope to start doing this more often, and probably with more of a heads up than just like, hey, I'm going to live stream later tonight. But I felt like I just had to dive in and get the first one over with. If I overthought it, it was just going to keep being postponed, and I'm just going to get more nervous about it. So just kind of had to dive in. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is my first one. I'm just used to making videos and posting them. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at SuperHypeDC. Leave a thumbs up, and let's see what we can. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about in the near future for live streams and all that good stuff. So next time I will have more of a heads up, probably like a few days in advance or something, or a day or whatever, for people to join the live stream. And hopefully start having people on, the more comfortable I get navigating all of this stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. And thank you, guys. We will see you next time.